And there are times like I probably for another episode, like I have a lot of personal stories, but I would always hear my name being called out, or we would hear children crying, like out in this, like out far away, and it's like probably like 10 at night or 11. It's pitch black, and then my mom said, "Don't look at the trees, like just look forward, don't respond to it, just keep walking."
Chanak wanted to play, baby.
Oh God, I hated it.
Wanted to,
Same way my hairs are standing. I was like, it's bringing back memories.
Wanted you to come out and hang out for a little bit.
You don't know, not my guy.
What's the end game? So it's vampiric. So it just wanted to suck your blood. Is that why that?
No, it's like I guess like it tries to draw either children. The main ones are children and like travelers who aren't really don't belong there.
Americans,
pretty much. Any white people with blue eyes, blonde hair, you're like the target. No, but they try to bring them through the woods.
It's looking for marriage.
I don't think so. Shut up! You're ruining my story. Jesus. No, but then like they cry to get their attention. I mean, like their point is to like get you lost so that you can't find your way back home until you find the source of the Chanak, and then they say typically when you see the child, their back is facing you, so you can't see their front. So by the time you're really close to them, that's when they'll reveal their true selves and then like eat you up or something.
It's gonna
suck you.
Yeah, shut up. No, but that's what it was, and like I don't know.
I fucking hate like possessed babies and shit. No.
Look at the pictures of this.
It's kind of scary. They say it happens a lot.
Ugh. But like a lot of people, even not from the Philippines, think that those jungles are dark and fucking haunted, scary. The jungle wants to take you and shit.
No, that's true. Like the pretty much the whole like of the Philippine Islands. It's like, you know, like the war and everything. So there's a lot of dead bodies everywhere.
Yeah.
Like where we lived, our house, I feel like we planted it on a cemetery or something because we had so many stuff going on, and I don't know. But yeah, that's the Chanak, everybody from the Philippines.
That thing's scary looking.
That's super. Yeah,
it's like Chucky.
Super cute.
Fuck Chucky. God,
I'm gonna adopt this one.
Speaking of the whole like possessed baby, like all this kind of like possession stuff. Have you watched Ju-on yet?
Oh yeah,
the new one. So the new one. So like Ju-on is like the Grudge series, right? Everybody knows that, right?
Yeah,
so
I've never watched I guess that's the Japanese version name.
It's the original Grudge.
The Japanese version is so much fucking scarier.
So there's one that's called Ju-on Origins, which is phenomenal. So if anybody out there is looking for something new to watch, it's on Netflix. It is in Japanese, but you can go switch it over to English translation, and you'll get like the strange like bad kung fu movie kind of translation. But it actually is translated pretty good, and it's so worth watching.
Yeah,
it is so goddamn creepy. It is so good. It's one of the better. It's a series. It's one of the better horror series that I've seen in a minute, in a hot minute. It is so good. So good. So if you're looking for something to watch, if you're looking for something to be super creeped out by, it's that. Like, it's not like blood, guts. It's just so
it really plays with your head.
It's like cerebral, creepy. Like it really messes with your mind.
You have to really think and pay attention because it's
all over the place. It's
really good though.
It's so good. So that can be your. It's kind of like a Japanese Ju-on, I guess.
Yeah. Well, like, Dad today was telling me about this story, and I hadn't heard of it, and I Googled it today, but I don't know if people outside of this area have heard of the Mothman of Virginia. They made a movie about it, I believe, and stuff like that.
It's like Virginia, West Virginia, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Point Pleasant or something like that. I can't remember what it's called. Well, my dad was telling me Rocky Gap. There's actually like a goat man of Rocky Gap. And what's funny is I remember years ago, Dad would drive through Rocky Gap to get to Volvo for work. And Dad, he would tell us, like, oh, we see a ghost, Dad. He's like, no, you fucking didn't, pretty much, you know? He's always like, no, there's no such thing as ghosts. Well, he was riding with 3 other grown men. They would carpool. And they were going through Rocky Gap. And there was this guy, and they would get home. They would drive through there at, like, 3 in the morning every morning. And there was a guy coming down the road on a horse with, like, a buggy behind him. And they're like, okay.
Fuck that.
And then they passed.
Like if I'm not in Amish country, like if I'm in Amish country, I'm gonna stop and try to buy like butter and bread off them.
Yeah.
If I'm anywhere else, I'm gonna be like, fuck that, and I'm gonna get the hell out of there.
This is at night? Like happening at night?
Like 3 a.m. And when the dude got closer, they're like, wait, he looks like he don't have a head. They tried to look at him, and he was gone. On a little road, itty bitty road, gone. So Dad's always said that he never like felt good in Rocky Gap and stuff like that. But there's apparently like a demon that's like half man, half goat in Rocky Gap. Will fuck with like people pulling over. You'll see them in the road and stuff like that. And I was reading, there's one story going around Facebook, and it's about a trucker, which that one wasn't very interesting to me. But I'd found one earlier about this young woman who said she had stopped. And it was late, she was getting tired and stuff like that, and she was going to check her phone. So she pulled over real quick to get her cord out, plug it up because it was almost dead and all this. And it sounded like somebody hit her really hard. And she like looked around and she saw nothing. She thought maybe a deer had hit the side of the car or something and ran off and all that. And she kind of cracked the door because she was terrified, which I just floor it. Fast and Furious shy right now. Like, rip it out. Fuck the phone. She cracked the door and she said it sounded like just this icy, like high-pitched scream. And she shut it and she's trying to like get it to go and stuff like that. Her nose started bleeding. And she was like, what the hell? And was just getting more scared. Rushed over, got a napkin. When she looked up, like right next to her window, driver window, was a half man, half goat. Oh. Pretty much like shit herself. I guess that's where the story ends.
Oh my God, like it was shitting. She just shit all over that car.
I was shit all over myself, like wearing Depends. I got this. Like, fuck this interior. It's leather. It will come out.
Oh my God. Oh. Not cool, goat dude. That's like.
No, goat. Dude, don't be a goat. That's the most, like, obvious demonic thing. Like, everybody expects a goat.
Don't be goat man. Like, really? Like, you're going to be anything but goat man.
I'd be like a centaur. So when people come, I just kick them real hard.
Like, goats.
They think I'm like a fairy.
Like you need, like, half man to make a goat weird. Like, just.
Right.
Okay, like, just take a random goat, put it in the middle of a dark road. Right? Creepy
as
fuck. Just like that.
They have those little rectangle pupils and shit. I don't trust them. They're just wop-eyed.
I've always just wanted to like take goats and just like just put like random pentagram stencils on them and just like loose them in. Like, you imagine like the chaos
so
it would cause.
Chaos. The churches of this town would burn Richlands to the ground.
I told you let in them. You told you let in them magic shops in this town, and this is what would happen.
Oh my God. Poor Mountain Magic.
You let the devil in, you open them portals to hell, and there you go.
They said that the guys, they were wonderful guys. They were gay. They called each other their husbands. So nice guys. They just sold tarot cards, crystals. They didn't even sell Ouija boards. They believed in God and stuff like that. They said they were coming here to make all our children gay.
Wow.
And I said, hell yeah, it'll be a party then in a few years. We'll have the best gay bars. I wish they would make all our kids gay. It'd be a lot better.
At least Richlands would have an economy.
Yeah, at least we'd have an economy. The rednecks ain't doing nothing.
Churches don't make any money. That's because the only money they do make is embezzled by two pastors usually. It's
to buy their Cadillac Escalades and their $1 million houses on Airport Road.
No, that was an interesting story. If you ever want to, like, for folks out there that aren't familiar with that, they should definitely go take a look at that and take a look at the what was it called? Like it was Mountain Magic. Is that what it's called?
Mountain Magic, yes.
Like it was the most atrocious. One of the
sad how they treated
it was
people.
Just atrocious. The level of the way that this small town of Richlands, Virginia, and I will put them on blast, and every single member of their, including their shitty police department and their shitty police chief.
It was the Richlands
town council
that did it.
I will put them all on blast right here and say this, that they clearly violated those folks' constitutional rights by they sent the police chief to their business to say, we don't like what you do here. You better get out of town.
Wow.
Because they were practicing some hibbity-jibbity religion that they didn't like. That's kind of the way that the town viewed it. So they literally pulled their business license and said that you can't do this. because it's not Christian. You can't do this. It's not Christian. That's literally what they said.
Yeah.
I actually went back and listened to. I went back and I listened to some of the video or tapes or whatever it was
from the town hall.
Read some of the transcripts, and it is insane to me. The fact, I mean, it was like modern day Salem witch trials.
It was literally a lynch mob up there that day.
It was people up there from these good-hearted, kind, and understanding Christian people, as that's what they claim to be, in front of a podium in a town in front of their peers going, these people are going to turn our kids gay and we need to boot them out of town and we need to burn down their store and they need to be punished with death, is basically what they're saying, because they worship the devil. And I'm going, what? Like, you people are really, this is the kind understanding. Okay, gotcha.
And I went there all the time. First, I wasn't into crystals because I didn't know much about them. I went there just to buy whatever I had the fucking money for to do it, just to support them and stuff. Then I got into crystals, and that was the nicest family. One of their sons was like 9 and made me this little wooden heart that he had painted for me and everything, and told me it was a good luck charm. And for them to get, they're closed now. They had to close down.
They moved somewhere else, didn't they?
They were doing protests outside their store and all kinds of stuff. It was pathetic.
You know, the funny thing is, though, so we were in Spirit Halloween because we're Halloween nuts, obviously.
That's where I get all my home decor.
Same. And so I literally bought a skull and I bought a Crimson Ghost mask. And what else did I buy? I bought a skull in Target the other day. I like skulls. I collect skulls and Buddhas. That's kind of the two things that I kind of collect.
I collect like crystals and like palm reading things, like that fake hand I have. I like to put it in my...
You know, the funny thing, though, so like they're like, oh, these evil witches, they're bringing in their tarot card, because that's where a lot of the uproar was. So I encourage folks to go read the story. If you haven't read it, it's all over. You can go read this transcript. If you really want to understand how backwoods some of the areas we're talking about is, you can go read it. If you want to understand compassionate Christianity, you can go read it. But it's what's crazy to me, though, is as much as they try to think that they're doing some big thing to fight for whatever it is they think they're fighting for. We were in Spirit Halloween today, and you could buy fucking tarot cards in Spirit Halloween. I'm like, you stupid shit.
Did I ever tell you I found a dead body? I gotta get to that. That just reminded me of it. I found a dead body one time. It was Halloween, and we went to the corn maze near Claypool Hill Mall, and we were with our friends Schmidt and Cassidy. Cassidy was pregnant. We were in my little purple PT Cruiser, and it was like
PT Bruiser.
That's the party trolley. What PT stands for.
Party trolley.
But we tried to go to Wendy's, and they were closed. And we were like, fuck you, Wendy's. We're going to McDonald's. And McDonald's at Claypool Hill, at the corner of the sidewalk, used to have a bench that sat there sideways. We pulled in, and I was like, their scarecrow decoration fell. Preston kept pulling into the gas pump, and I was like, holy shit, that's a dude. And I jumped out, and he's screaming at me to stop. I go in there and start shaking him, and I roll him over, and there's all this like green stuff out of his mouth and stuff. And I'm sorry. I don't know if this makes me a bad person. I don't know how long you've been there. I wasn't willing to give him mouth to mouth.
Shouldn't. No. Yeah, that's smart.
There was a bunch of stuff coming out of his mouth. I don't know this.
And again, disclaimer here, don't take any of my advice. I'm not a doctor. I'm not any of those things. But CPR, lay rescue CPR is hands only now, so you shouldn't be giving mouth to mouth anyways because it doesn't do a lot. So just everybody out there,
okay.
If you want to go to Red Cross, I think it's probably redcross.org, I'm assuming. Maybe the redcross.org. It's one of those things, just Google Red Cross, and you can actually go watch a video for lay responder CPR, and it's hands only. Stay alive, and you just do that, and you just hump and pump the chest. That's all you got to do. So smart move, because I'm assuming with the foam is probably an overdose, and you don't know what you're going to get in your mouth, and you don't know how long.
But that's part of the freedom. I didn't know if he had like AIDS or hepatitis, and it took the ambulance an hour to get there.
Oh my god!
This lady outside was standing there. She's like, "Yeah, he's been there for like 20 minutes." Like, did you call an ambulance? She was like, "No." The story gets sad though. Schmidt's dad worked at the hospital as a security guard. When they took him there, the ER nurse on staff, that was her brother. He had been an addict for a very long time, but he'd been clean for a year.
And then snapped, hit it.
I guess being an addict so long just weakened his heart. And he had replaced being an addict with Monster energy drinks recently. And it just couldn't take it no more. He got a coffee, got a Monster